All right, so let's talk about AI governance. We all hear about it, right? But it feels like the conversation always gets stuck on why we need it. Today, we're skipping that. We're jumping straight into the missing piece, the part that actually matters for getting things done, the how.
If you're leading a team or a company, this probably hits home. I mean, there's just this endless flood of articles and experts telling you why AI governance is so critical and what it's supposed to look like in theory. But when you ask for the actual playbook, the step-by-step instructions, it gets really quiet really fast. And that's exactly the gap we're going to fill today. We are going to unpack a real, honest-to-goodness operational framework you can use to manage and scale your AI work safely and, actually get results. So, let's get into it. Here's our game plan. First, we're going to look at AI in a totally new way, like it's a factory. From there, we'll break down a three-tiered control system, check out the engine that makes it all run safely, and then wrap up by showing you how it all has to sit on top of a really solid foundation.
Okay, so let's start with this core idea. I want you to stop thinking about AI as some mysterious, complicated bit of code. Instead, picture something way more concrete, way more familiar, a factory assembly line.
So what's coming off this assembly line? Decisions. Lots and lots of decisions. And just like any car or phone coming out of a factory, those decisions need a super robust quality control process. See? That simple little shift in thinking moves us away from vague, abstract policies and gets us right into a hands-on system for managing what our AI is actually doing out there, in the real world. So how do we build that quality control system? Well, it's actually pretty simple. We use a three-tiered escalation model. The easiest way to think about it is like a traffic light for every single action the AI wants to take. Let's start with the green light.
This is your green light tier. This is for all the routine, low-risk, high-confidence stuff. These are the tasks where we want the AI to just go, to operate with total autonomy and efficiency. And here's what that looks like. Think about something simple, like a product refund for under $50. The AI just handles it. Boom, done. The human's job isn't to stand in the way and approve it, it's to review the logs later on. The key is you still have 100% visibility with a full audit trail, but you're not creating a human bottleneck for every little thing.
Okay, next up is our yellow light tier. This is for those decisions that are a bit more complex, a little more risky. The AI is pretty sure it knows the right answer, but it's not 100% certain. In this tier, the AI is your co-pilot, not the pilot. So for something like a mid-range credit decision, let's say between $50,000 and $100,000, the AI doesn't act. It proposes. It packages up its recommendation and hands it over to a human expert who can then approve it, tweak it, or just reject it outright. And this part is absolutely crucial. Every time a human interacts with a proposal, it creates this fantastic feedback loop that's actively training and improving the AI model for next time. And finally, we get to the red light tier. This is reserved for your most critical, high-stakes decisions, the ones where human judgment is completely non-negotiable. Imagine a big loan, over $100,000. Here, the AI's job totally changes. It doesn't even propose an answer. It just raises a flag, says, hey, I'm not sure about this one, and escalates the entire situation with all the relevant info to a senior leader. The rule here is crystal clear. The AI provides the context, but a human makes the final authoritative call. Period. So we have our three tiers, our traffic lights. That's great. But what's the engine that makes the whole system run safely and reliably? Well, it really comes down to two key concepts, something called persistence and a set of safety nets. Think of persistence as a dial you can turn up or down. It basically controls how many times an AI will try to solve a problem on its own before it's forced to stop and ask a human for help. And let me tell you, learning how to tune this dial is one of the most powerful control levers you have. Now, this is where it gets really clever. The relationship is inverse. For a high autonomy green light task, you actually want high persistence. Let it try a few different things on its own. But for a high stakes red light task, you set persistence to 0. The very first sign of trouble, it has to escalate immediately. This is how you prevent the AI from going down a dangerous rabbit hole when the stakes are high. Now, to make sure absolutely nothing falls through the cracks, the whole system is built with safety nets. And the model for this comes from a field where you literally can't afford to make a mistake, healthcare. They have this principle called zero critical value misses, which is a system to guarantee that a critical lab result never ever gets lost. We're borrowing that same logic. So what does that look like day to day? Well, it's all about having the right tools for oversight.
You're constantly monitoring the AI's confidence scores in real time. You've got dashboards that show you every single item that's been escalated for human review. And you're tracking the approval workflows to make absolutely sure a human is always in the loop and every single decision is accounted for.
Okay, so we've got our decision factory and our three-tiered quality control system, but you can't build a factory like that on shaky ground. For any of this to actually work, it has to be built on a rock-solid foundation, and that foundation has a name: Integrated Process Excellence, or IPE. IP basically takes that factory analogy we started with and blows it up to cover your entire organization. It's a systematic way to bring that same manufacturing-level discipline, clarity, and control to all of your business processes, not just the ones touched by AI.
It works as a continuous cycle with 4 pretty straightforward phases. First, you document your processes so you actually know how work gets done. Second, you communicate them so everyone is on the same page. Third, you measure and control performance so you can see what's working and what's not. And finally, you use that data to continuously improve. It's a simple, powerful loop.
And here is the ultimate payoff. All that hard work, all that discipline, it's not just good business hygiene. It is the essential prep work for AI to succeed. You can't just drop a powerful AI into a chaotic, undocumented process and expect magic to happen. This is how you generate the clean data and the structured workflows that AI systems desperately need to deliver real, measurable business results.
So when you bring it all together, the 3-tiered governance model sitting on top of that strong IP foundation, you finally get to the goal we're all chasing: a perfect, sustainable balance between squeezing every bit of efficiency out of AI while at the same time rigorously managing all of its risks.
And that really brings us to the final question, one to think about as you're building out your own strategy. Is it truly built on a disciplined, measurable process? Or, if you're being honest, is it just built on hope? Thanks for tuning in.